welcome back to my channel. Thank you for watching and for subscribing. And if you're just visiting, please consider subscribing. So this is my first video of 2021. I hope that all of you had wonderful holidays and Happy New Year to all of you. And hopefully 2021 will be better than the last year. And I thought, what would be a better way than to start this year with a huge haul? So that's what we're gonna do today. My last haul was a month ago. It was at the very beginning of December, and as you can imagine, with holidays and sales, I have accumulated a lot of fragrances in the last month, and I mean a lot. So this haul will definitely be a two-parter, and in fact, part 2 will be during a special week that I'm planning on my channel, which you will find out about very soon. But today we're going to do part 1 of this huge haul. This is probably going to be long, so get comfortable, get some tea or coffee, and let's get started. So the first fragrance that I got is something that I wanted to get for a very long time, and this was one of the fragrances that Santa brought to me under the Christmas tree. This is NOIR Perfume from Tom Ford. I've spoken about it many times, and I think many of you are familiar with this fragrance. Here is the bottle. Very beautiful, sleek bottle. The notes in here are ginger, orange, bergamot, rose, jasmine, orange blossom, coffee, vanilla, amber, sandalwood. And basically this is a very warm and spicy vanilla with a very prominent note of coffee. It is beautiful. It is very comforting. I think this is a very seductive and sexy type of scent, and I think winter is absolutely the perfect time to wear it. So I'm glad that this is finally part of my collection. Next one should not come as a surprise because I've shared with you in my last haul that I received a travel spray of this fragrance from my perfume.com subscription and absolutely fell in love with it. So I had to purchase a full bottle. This is Velvet Rose and Oud from Jo Malone. This came as an unboxed item, so I don't have a box for it, but basically this has vanilla, praline, oud, rose, maybe a couple more notes, but mainly that's what it is. And it's just an outstanding sweet rose with a touch of oud. Praline adds a real nice touch to the sweetness of this fragrance. Oud is very, very mild. And here, this is definitely beginner-friendly type of oud. And overall, absolutely beautiful. And of course, like I said, I fell in love with the travel spray when I got it, and I had to have the full bottle. Next one is a real gem that I found, and I found it really accidentally. I was browsing one of the discounter sites, as I do almost on a daily basis. Yes, this addiction is real. And I saw that this came in stock, and I know that this is a discontinued scent that is very hard to find, and I really had to buy it, but I really didn't know much about it. And I'm so glad that I did, because this is a stunner. Now, I'm talking about a fragrance from Elisab Private Collection. This is Essence number 10, a Monday Tonka. So it comes in this black box. Let's open it. Here's the bottle. Looks exactly like Essence 1 Rose, which I already have. All of the fragrances from this line are in the same bottle. So the notes in this fragrance are tonka, almond, sandalwood, and amorous. Seems pretty simple. And this is such a stunning scent. It has, you can smell all of the notes. You have tonka and almond, but they're not very spicy. They have a touch of nuttiness, but more than anything, they bring depth and sweetness to this. Sandalwood brings creaminess, and I will be honest with you, it feels like there should be a lot more notes in here. The scent definitely smells more complex than the 4 notes that are listed. And of course, this is again created by Francis Kurkdjian. I believe he created this whole line, and his masterful hand is very evident here, I would say. This is beautiful, sweet, deep, rich but not overpowering type of scent. It's a beautiful combination of kind of warm, creamy, sweet, nutty. There's a little bit of everything, and it just creates an amazing blend. This is absolutely stunning. It sort of has a bit of a bakery vibe, but not too much so. It's just reminiscent of that. It's like you've been in a bakery, you walked out, and now you're walking somewhere in the street, and there's just a bit of that freshly baked something trail that follows you. It doesn't feel like you're inside of a bakery. It's like you've been there sometime today and you just have remnants of that smell on you. Absolutely beautiful, outstanding. I have to admit that I love this better than Essence One Rose. I love both, but I am completely taken by this scent. This is outstanding. If you ever see this available online, I would highly recommend that you try it. This is a stunner. Next, I'm going to share with you two very affordable, amazing finds. One is a fragrance that many have talked about recently. This is Oud Vanille from Franck Olivier, and like I said, it is extremely inexpensive, and I thought I have to try it. So many of you have seen the bottle already. Here we go. It's actually a really nice looking bottle, very heavy. This fragrance is really about oud and rose. Some other notes in here are caramel, raspberry, orange, jasmine, patchouli, incense, violet, spices, musk, woody notes, vanilla, and the cap is very tight. It's not easy to open it, but this really, to me, is very similar to Oud Bouquet from Lancôme. I think these are quite similar. I would just say there is a touch less oud in here, and maybe there is a little bit more sweetness in here, but overall these two are very similar, and obviously there is a huge price difference. So if you are not sure about an oud type of scent, or you're not sure about Oud Bouquet and you want to try it, I would recommend trying this one. I've heard or I've read some reviews where people say that this is similar to Ragba from Lattafa. I would say no. In my opinion, they're not. Ragba is really about oud and vanilla, and I would say that oud in there is lighter and more subdued, whereas this fragrance is more about rose and oud with a stronger oud note. So to me, they are different, and it's definitely justifiable to have both. But this is a really nice, affordable find. I really understand why so many people have been talking about this one. Next one is another affordable find that I don't hear a lot of people talking about, and I really can't remember where I heard about it or read about it. I don't know, but again, I saw it become available on one of the discounter sites, and I thought, okay, I've heard good things about it from a few people. It's very inexpensive. I really want to try it. This came as a tester, so again, I don't have a box. This is Mercedes-Benz Club Black, and this is actually marketed towards men. So you can see the bottle. I mean, you know, it's okay, but this is really more about the scent. So let me give you quickly the notes, and then I will tell you what this smells like. So we have bergamot, incense, jasmine, vanilla, benzoin, ambroxan, woody notes. And the reason I became interested in this fragrance is because a few reviews of this that I've seen or read, I can't remember, compared this one to Spirituous Double Vanille from Guerlain, which is an amazing fragrance, and of course I had to try this one. I am so glad that I did. if you enjoy boozy vanilla type of scents, you must try this one. And it is definitely unisex, absolutely 100% unisex. This is not just for men. I have been using it so much since I got it, and my husband has been using it as well, and both of us really, really love it. This is a gem, and I mean a gem. If you see it available, you have to get it. So is it similar to Spirituous Double Vanille? Yes, it is similar. Is it a dead-on dupe? No. When you first spray it, the opening is very, very similar. It is kind of that boozy, sweet, slightly woody vanilla. Amazing. Then as it dries down, it sort of becomes kind of a mix of Spirituous Double Vanille and Deluxe from Tiziana Terenzi, or Intense Cafe from Montal if you want. It's kind of a mix of these two, and I found that on different skin chemistry it reacts differently. For example, on my husband, when it dries down, it is definitely more leaning towards Deluxe, whereas on my skin it is more leaning towards Spirituous Double Vanille. But overall, in a dry down, it is kind of a combination of the two. Outstanding fragrance for such an affordable price. I really cannot say enough good things about it. I like it so much, and this I believe is a discontinued scent that I'm even considering purchasing a backup, which I never do. But this is amazing. Again, highly, highly recommend. Next, I have a fragrance that has been talked about quite a lot in the last few months, and it's a flanker of a fragrance that I absolutely despise, if I'm being completely honest. I'm talking about Libre from YSL. The original Libre I have tried, and it's probably one of the worst fragrances I have ever tried. This is just my taste. I found it sharp, masculine, herbal, really, really unpleasant. Absolutely dislike that scent. And then the intense version came out, and so many people started talking about it, and so many have said that it is so much better and so different from the original. And I've been so curious, and I have nowhere to try it here. I mean, the stores are closed. I'm not really going anywhere. But I was worried to buy the full bottle, so I got a travel spray of Libre Intense. So this fragrance is, of course, about lavender and vanilla, and what everyone has said is that vanilla in the Intense version is much stronger and much sweeter. That's why I wanted to try it. The other notes in here are orange, bergamot, orange blossom, jasmine, orchid, vanilla, ambergris, tonka, vetiver. And, oh, maybe I should open it first. And I have to say, when I first sprayed it, I was so surprised just how much I liked it and how different it is from the original. In my opinion, they're very, very different. This is beautiful, sweet, buttery. I don't get a lot of lavender. There's definitely some mention of lavender in here, but it's definitely not very strong. I get orange blossom in here. I get the jasmine. I get a little bit of orange. There's definitely a touch of that citrusy punch. Overall, it is stunning. It is so different from the original, especially in the opening. Now, when it dries down, I still like it. It is still beautiful, but I find that as it dries down, it gets closer to the original. I still definitely like it, but like I said, it is getting closer to the original. It sort of loses a bit of that richness and I would say brightness that it has at the beginning. But overall, yes, this is quite different from the original, and I think many of the people, including me, that really didn't like the original would enjoy this one as well. Now, like I said, I have this travel spray and I haven't decided yet if I need to get a full bottle or not, but I'm definitely going to use this one. This is really beautiful. Okay, next, we have a fragrance from a house that I discovered very recently called AMOUROUD. And if you watched my channel, you know that a few months ago I purchased Silk Root from this house, which I fall in love with. Outstanding, beautiful, beautiful, addictive fragrance. And so of course I had to try something else from this house. I'm often like this. If I really like something from a house, one fragrance is never enough. I have to explore at least one or two more. And I chose the one that has been talked about quite a lot. I've heard quite a few reviews, kind of rave reviews about this fragrance, and I chose Midnight Rose. Also, obviously, this is about rose, and as we all know, I love rose fragrances. So just like all of the fragrances from this line, it comes in this black pouch, and then we take out the beautiful black and gold bottle. There we go. So the notes in here are rose, of course, lily, iris, lychee, pomelo, oud, amber, and labdanum. And this is definitely your rose and oud type of scent. It is sweet, but it is not extremely sweet. It kind of has a freshness element to it. Maybe it's the pomelo that brings that. There is supposed to be lychee in here. It is not extremely prominent. Like if we compare it, let's say, to lychee in Delina, where I can definitely smell it. It is definitely not like that here. It is more blended in with the other notes. So this is definitely kind of a sort of sweet, sort of fresh rose with a little bit of sweetness and a little bit of oud. It is a really, really nice scent. But if I'm completely honest, I like it. I don't love it. And what I mean is, because my collection is so huge at this point, you know, I'm really selective and I'm really picky with the scents that stay in my collection. They need to be either unique to my collection, or they need to be really extraordinary, special types of scents. And this one, it is really nice. It is really nice. It is really pleasant. I enjoy the scent very much, but I don't find anything super special about it. So I'm kind of undecided. For example, you know, I've showed you Velvet Rose and Oud from Jo Malone, which is also rose and oud scent. I fell in love with that one. To me, that one is stunning rose and oud combination. This one, to me, doesn't quite measure up. It is nice and probably not more than that. So I have it for now, but to be honest, I haven't completely made up my mind if it's actually going to stay in my collection long term. And we're going to end this haul with two very luxurious, very bougie, and very expensive fragrances. First one is from Fragrances Du Bois. This is Oud Orange Intense. So this is my first purchase from this house. They were having, I think, 15% off during the holidays, and I decided to try one of their fragrances. Of course, unfortunately, because this was shipped overseas, when it arrived to Canada, I was hit with quite significant duties and taxes, as often happens in Canada. So unfortunately, you know, the discount that I got on the fragrance didn't pay off, but let's forget about that. Let's take a look at the stunning, stunning presentation. And presentation is out of this world for this fragrance. So we open this box. There is another velvet box in here. Like I said, very luxe, very bougie presentation. We open it and the fragrance is inside. Of course, I just got the tiny 15 ml because, you know, the prices here are completely insane. So the bottle is beautiful, but it's truly tiny, tiny bottle. So what is this fragrance about? So the notes in here are fruity notes, coconut, vanilla, musk, and oud. And it is kind of a fruity, orangey, slightly tropical combination with oud. It is like some kind of orange candy, kind of sprinkled with sugar. I really don't know, don't remember what they're called, but it really smells like that with a touch of oud. Oud is not overpowering. It is relatively light. It just adds kind of a strength and backbone to this fragrance. It is, I think this would be quite mass appealing. It's quite mainstream, I would say. So the scent is beautiful. Now, I'm not going to spend too much time talking about this fragrance because I am going to feature it in an upcoming video where I will talk about it in more detail and what I think about it in general. So for now, just sharing with you that I purchased this and it is now a part of my collection. And this brings us to the last purchase in this haul. And again, this is another really pricey, really luxurious fragrance. This one is from Carolina Herrera private line. I think it's called Confidential line. This is called Nightfall Patchouli. Here is the box. It is very heavy, very sturdy box. Beautiful, beautiful presentation. We open it and the bottle is in here, and we also have a card with the information here as well. Let's take it out. Very, very heavy, very sturdy, beautifully done packaging, bottle, everything is very, very high end. Very, I mean, the magnet on the cap is amazing. I can play with it all day. Anyways, let's talk about the scent. So, I knew I wanted to try something from this collection, and I'm not sure at this point if this is going to be it or if I will try something else. I really don't know because, like I said, these fragrances are extremely, extremely pricey and not that easy to find. So I decided to start with this one because I really enjoy patchouli, and just what I read from the reviews about this fragrance, I thought that I should like it. So the notes in here are bergamot, cinnamon, clove, patchouli, and benzoin. And it's beautiful. Let's start with that. But if you think that this fragrance is really about patchouli, I think the name is a bit deceiving. I don't think this fragrance is so much about patchouli. I mean, patchouli is here, but it is not very strong in my opinion. Now, remember, I enjoy patchouli. So for those that struggle with this note, you might think that patchouli is extremely strong in here. So this is, you know, my subjective opinion. But to my nose, patchouli is here, but it is not strong. It is beautifully surrounded by cinnamon and cloves and benzoin. So it is sweet and it is a little bit spicy. It is stunning. It kind of reminds me, now it is not identical, but it is sort of going in the same direction as Eau Jeanne from Parfums de Marly, or FERRERA from Bricourt, or even slightly reminds me of Amber d'Alexandrie from Boucheron, kind of going in that direction of fragrances that have cinnamon and benzoin, and you know, they are all kind of different but sort of similar, and this is going in the same direction. Beautiful, beautiful fragrance. It is not a beast, I will tell you. It is more of a lighter, airier scent. Doesn't mean that it has bad performance. It really doesn't, but it is not a kind of punch in your face type of fragrance. No, it is more kind of elegant and sophisticated type of scent, I would say. This is stunning. Everything about it stunning. The presentation, the bottle, the scent, it is beautifully, beautifully done. So again, this is Nightfall Patchouli from Carolina Herrera, and this is the last fragrance in this haul. I know it was long, but believe it or not, this is only part one. There are more fragrances that I purchased during the last month or so, which I will share with you in part two. So I hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up and subscribe, and definitely share with me what have you purchased or what have you received as gifts in the last month. I will see you soon in my next video. Bye.